Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mystical. Welcome to the webinar, Highly Effective Strategies for Attracting and Retaining Top Talent, organized by the Singapore Chinese Chambers of Commerce and Industry in partnership with Mr. Ashok Marianda, founder of Transform and Transcend. He is Singapore's leading business transformation architect. He'll be sharing great insights on how businesses can attract and retain their top talent. What an interesting and important topic, and I'm sure we can't wait to get started. Without further ado, let's start our webinar for today, Highly Effective Strategies for Attracting and Retaining Top Talent. Mr. Ashok Marianda, over to you now.
Thank you, Mystical, and a very good afternoon to everybody. And obviously, this is a very hot topic, right? And why should we care about attracting and retaining talent? Well, the answer quite simply is because if you don't have good people, you don't have success in your company. It's all about your people. And for me, this is close to my heart as a business transformation architect. I help companies transform, and a lot of the work I do is around corporate culture, and I see this to be one of the biggest challenges we have today.
I'm sure you guys all have some burning questions, so this brings us to the next part of the webinar, the Q&A session. So we have the first question. I am a HR, and quite often the employees left the company because they feel that the company's top management direction is not right and they felt too powerless to change anything. What is your view on this?
Yeah. So again, I think the direction is not right because you haven't communicated the direction of the company. And again, how many people here today get an understanding of the company, what they do, the purpose, what is a vision, things like that? No. You're not even creating that experience. So employees don't even know what direction, right? You're not helping them grow. You're not doing all these things that we talked about. So they feel lost. They feel they're not part of something bigger, and they will leave. And that's what's driving a lot of this migration. They feel that they cannot grow. They feel there's no sense. I'm not part of something bigger. It's all those things that are not happening for them.
Okay, so I understand that many managers, bosses are still managing by input. They want to see you physically present from 9 to 5, but they are not used to, managing by objectives. So how can this mindset be changed?
I think it's a wake-up call. A lot of managers are still very old school, and I think they need to wake up to the reality that it's not about input, it's about output, right? We have to move away from that mindset. They have to really think that the job will get done. It's just that the place is irrelevant now. I think I'll pick one here, Mystical.
Sure.
How do we create effective interviews during recruitment process? Okay, this is a great question. First of all, if you look at most recruiting ads, it just puts your job requirement, job skills needed. It doesn't talk about your company. What is your purpose? What do you do? What do you bring to the world? So your story is gone. You don't have a story right at the beginning. The interview process should be about them. Ask your potential candidates, what are they looking for in life? Why did they find you? Why did they find interesting? Why did they apply to this job? What are their aspirations? What are their goals? Ask them. We always talk about our company. Now it's time to shift to what they want, right? And if they feel that they're being looked after, their cares are being met, that's how we need to understand. And they will in turn give you 100%. That's what we need. We can't just be, okay, I'm not filling a position. I'm putting a human being that has a potential to grow, to become the best version of themselves. I need to know more about you. What are your dreams? What are your aspirations? What are your hopes? So the questions should be open-ended, empowering questions. Why do you think you'll fit in here? What do you know about us? What brought you here? Why did you apply to this job, right? Stories. I mean, you need to then create that impression that, oh my God, this is a great place to work and you are part of this journey.
The other question, employee burnt out is real. How do we prevent or help the employees?
I think we need to check-ins, do regular check-ins with them. It's real. We've already touched on this. I think you need to have one-on-one sessions where they share things with you. Give them that door. Have a once a week time for your direct reports to connect with you, and let them set the agenda for the meeting. All right, and they will share with you, and you can ask them, how are you feeling last week? How are you doing? I just want to hear from you. Is everything okay? Sometimes they just a question like that will open it up, and they'll share things for you. If someone didn't submit a project on time, don't just hound them. Hey, why you don't? There must be something that's happening in their lives, right? So we need to dig slightly deeper. Like I said, we're not trained to be counselors, and I think that's the challenge managers are having today, because a lot of employees are stressed. They're burning out, and if someone hasn't delivered something on time, dig deep a little bit to figure out why that happened, and share. Maybe there's something there that you can help them with. We're all human beings, and I think that's what we need to have. Just a little compassion, empathy. All those things are becoming very important now. The EQ part of work is becoming super important now, especially in a time like this.
Moving on to the next question. For many companies, especially listed ones, the need to continually deliver shareholder value sometimes drives how a company's culture is built. How can this be changed over time?
Yeah. So I think you heard it from Singtel. I think if your people are happy, your customers are happy, your shareholders definitely will be happy. So don't start with how can I make my shareholders happy? That is the end result. Think about creating a powerful culture in your company. Think about starting with why do we exist? What is our culture? Write down your culture playbook, and that's a lot of my work that I do. I help companies create a playbook. You need a manual. Now, the problem we have in many companies is that you have SOPs on everything. You have SOPs on how you deliver your products, your services, your logistics, whatever SOPs. But do you have an SOP on how to run the company? Probably not. If I asked you, what is your Bible? What is your go-to manual and how do you run this company? And most companies don't. Guess what? The most successful companies in the world have a culture playbook. In that, it tells you how to run the company. How this is your DNA, this is who we are, this is how we communicate, this is the values that we care about. And most values today are fluff. We have to do some work around creating meaty, succinct values, how people should behave, how our products, what is our vision for our products, what is our vision for our customers, and how do we live our culture every day. That is something that needs to be captured in a playbook. This is how we run our company. Irrespective of who comes and goes in the company, top management, this is the go-to sort of workbook, the go-to playbook of how we run our company. And that is missing today. And that's what I help create for small businesses. And once you have that, it is gold. It really makes your company fly because there's no guesswork. We're all operating under this beautiful, strong culture that's driving us, that's really pushing us forward to put us in a powerful position for the future as well.
A really interesting question over here. So, purpose of business, does it translate to vision, the company's vision and mission?
Yeah, there is a connect. So just to differentiate between the three, purpose is why you exist, right? You exist to bring some greater good. Your vision is where do you see yourself. So your vision statement is we aspire to be the number one in our category. We aspire to be the most loved brand in Asia. We see ourselves as the top 5 airline. Whatever it is, you can have a vision. Vision is your future. Where do you see yourself? Mission is how you do it. What are your unique systems and processes in your company that you have to achieve your vision and your purpose? So there's 3 different things. Starts with your purpose. Your vision is where do you see yourself, and your mission delivers on that.
Thank you so much for pointing it out. I think most companies, in my humble opinion, they do get the vision and mission kind of mixed up. So thank you so much for clarifying that. In the healthcare sector, huge resources has been invested in making improvements over the years. Decades still unable to attract and stop the leak. Any one bright idea from you?
It's a passion industry. It's not something for everyone. So storytelling, how people's lives are being transformed. The healthcare companies need to really sort of motivate people in that respect. It's so fulfilling. It's deeply fulfilling to be in the healthcare, to give someone a better life and improve people's lives in some form, and it's a very powerful calling. And so I think you need to approach it slightly differently in the way you advertise, though, in the way you motivate people and create a very powerful onboarding experience for that. But there's a huge opportunity, and I see storytelling as being very, very big part of that journey. Yeah, high pay, easy job. And I think we need to stop at some point, because pay, like I said, it's not a big motivator. You can give several other things. I think you reach a point where you pay the market median. And I think a lot of companies today are making payment transparent. I mean, people find out other people's salaries, they kind of know about it. I know it's a bit strange, but the old way of just bumping up salaries and making people stay just for money, I think is we need to add a few layers on top of that. So again, making work meaningful, giving value in some way where people feel more fulfilled. Money only lasts for that long. You pay people the market medians, and some companies pay slightly higher than that. So you have a compensation package that really works, but there can be other things thrown into that compensation package that makes it more holistic for someone, where they find growth, they find passion, they find they're doing things, and the company helps them become who they want to become, right? It's more than money that's motivating people today. I think this is a nice one. We have lost sight of, Gordon has a very good comment here, and we've lost sight of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Absolutely, Gordon. I think the self-fulfillment part of Maslow's hierarchy of needs needs to be addressed in companies. We can't just look at people as filling positions and doing work anymore. These are real human beings with beyond their names that need as inspiration. We need leadership with inspiration. We need an inspiring work environment, and we need people to reach their full potential and become the best versions of themselves. I think totally is so nice that you mentioned Maslow here. I think a great question by Vivian here. How do you maintain company culture beyond writing down your purpose? Yeah. So you have to live your culture every day. And so the great companies will use their values in everyday things. Every meeting will begin with the value of the month. You have culture champions. You have events around your purpose. You celebrate purpose achievements when you do them. There's culture days. There's LinkedIn has in days, and Disney, we had so many things we did around our values and things. So again, you have to bring all these things to life, right? And so great companies are doing this so well. There's not enough time on this. Maybe that's another webinar we can do. How do you live your culture, Mystical? So that's a good one. I can talk for days on how companies do this, and I help companies do that in my culture transformation work. One great example before we end. There was a company that said in their values, it says we treat each other like family. How do we bring this to life? Just put up a massive thank you board in your boardroom, and every week everyone in the company has to put a thank you note up. Thank you, Mystical, for helping me with this presentation. Thank you, John, for doing this. And over time, you'll see that board fill up, and that's how you live your values, right? Where being part of a family, just simple thank you notes on a whiteboard.
I think the thank you board is such a great suggestion, and it's so easy to start with, to be honest. So before we end today's webinar, Mr. Ashok Miranda, would you like to wrap up today's session with a couple of thoughts for the audience to take back?
I think from a macro perspective, we have to rethink about companies, the way work is done, the way we attract and retain talent, and we have to have a holistic view about people. And how do we do this? How do we then fix something that is not just cosmetic, but at a core of a company? And I always believe it starts with your culture, because your culture covers everything, right? Who you are, your DNA, how you attract your people, how you retain them, how you motivate, compensate, how you create products. And it all comes back to the culture of your company. And if you get that right, if you get the culture part right, you will have a company that employees love, customers adore, and the world admires. And those are the three key things every company aspires to be. I meet up with so many CEOs, and I said, I asked them, what do you want your legacy to be in this company, right? When you retire, what do you want people to say about you? Is it going to be that you met your budget, that you made so much money? Those things don't matter. It's about how do you help your people become the best versions? How do you grow? How do you create amazing products that change the world? You made a difference in people's lives in your own way, whether you made donuts or doorknobs or cupcakes or software. What was it? What matters in the end is the good that you do, is something that you bring people up to the next level. You've created a company that people love. Someone met you in a kopitiam 10 years down the line, and if you were a head of department, say, thank you, John. I don't think you remember me, but you made my life special. I learned so much from you, and it was so nice. Thank you. Thank you. That's the most fulfilling thing that you can hear today. And that's what we need to help companies do, right? Really figure out that we are not here just to create products and services. We're here to nurture human beings. We're here to help people reach their full potential. And when you help people reach their full potential, they in turn will help you as your company reach your full potential. We have got it wrong. We've got it the other way.
That was a fantastic takeaway. Thank you for your participation, and a big thank you to Mr. Ashok Miranda for his time and valuable insights.